Van Lewis. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for stopping by. Here we are with another Howling Mood podcast, episode number 5. Here with the bestie. We have a special.
Hello.
We have a special guest here. Some of you know him as Mr. PyschopathJasonKiller on the actual YouTube. We know him as Michael. How you doing today, bro? What's going on?
I'm doing good.
Good. So, basically, we want to discuss a situation here. A lot of, we always say, hey, subscribe to him, show him some love. You are a U.S. Marine. Now, tell everybody, number one, why did you choose to go into the Marines?
Why I picked it is because basically it's the toughest branch in the whole military to get into and all that. Simple as that.
Right, yeah,
and
that.
And I like to challenge.
Right, yeah. And then there ain't nothing wrong with that. That, and I'm sure you basically, how everybody, you wanted to kind of do something different, make something of your life, other than some of these people who just, choose not to go into the military. A lot of people are against the military for other reasons. That's a good reason. So, you did your basic training, and then you went to California and did some work over there. And now you find yourself in Okinawa in Japan. So what's the differences that you had to adjust between here in the United States to Japan? I know there's a whole time difference and whatnot. So what's the differences? What is it? How hard has it been to adjust, or has it been quite easy for you to adjust to the differences between their country and ours?
Well, for one, there is a time difference, that's for sure. But it's somewhat easy for me to adjust, but then again, there's some, like, the culture, the language is like the biggest thing I got to learn.
Yeah, that would be hard. So, do they speak to you in English, or do you got or does some of them not? Do they have?
Well, some of them speak English, but it's like a broken English, like.
I know what you mean by broken English. I've encountered a lot of, Japanese and Chinese people, or other countries like Spanish people or Mexican people, whatever, that they do speak that broken language, that they try to say things, but it comes out like different and it doesn't sound right. Their pronunciation of our language is different, and it kind of sounds funny, to be honest. I mean, not laughing about it, like it's a joke, but some of the, some broken English are kind of like broken, but I understand what you're saying. So the whole time difference is definitely a difference, and I know for the both of you and your relationship, it's kind of hard to adjust. Bestie, you have to get used to, when you're able to converse with him, as like right now. Right now, as recording this podcast, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning for us. But for you, it's like, what, is it 9 o'clock or is it close to 10 o'clock?
It's 9:07.
Okay, 9:07 p.m. So we're like a 12-hour and a day difference. So the whole relationship part of it. Right, yeah. So the whole relationship part for you both has been like adjusting to this whole different time and dates and all this other stuff, and kind of getting things differently than what you were used to. I mean, in California, you're only like 3 hours behind, Pacific Standard Time, so it's a lot easier to kind of adjust. But now the whole adjustment is a little bit different, because now, Bestie, you find yourself having to go to bed at a decent time, so that way you'll be able to get up and you guys can interact with one another. Correct?
Mhm.
So so it is quite different. It really is different, and like I said, a lot of people, don't know, what it's like, to go through a long distance relationship, and those like, oh, the long distance relationship doesn't work. They don't work. They don't work. They only work whenever you make them work. You have to make them work. You have to want it to work. So,
Well,
go ahead.
I'll make it work. I don't care.
Right? Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
making it fucking work.
One way or another, I'm gonna make this fucking relationship work.
Right.
He always says that, and I'm always the one that's always like,
Negative.
"Can we do this? Can we really do this?"
Right.
Then
Yeah.
He's the positive. I'm the negative.
Then
Right.
I tell you straight up, babe. I'm gonna make this fucking shit work out. One way or another.
See there you go. He just put a ring on your finger,
Fucking right it is.
and it may take a little bit of time. So after he gets out of the military, which you got a couple years to go now.
I just gotta wait 2 years.
Okay, so 2 years.
Then I can be back in the States.
Right, you're back in the
Maybe.
States. I mean, and kind of take on some more time if you want. But what's really good about being in the military, for those of you watching and thinking, whether or not you want to be in the military, what's really good about being in the military, and I'm sure he can vouch to say this, is, your education is taken care of. You're able to do different trades, whatever you want to do. And not only that, you get recognized as, basically royalty, so to speak, because you're defending our country. You're helping, defend our country. If we need something, like if we need reinforcements to go take over some, like at war or whatever, you're there. You are trained. You are trained. Or as they said in the Full Metal Jacket, which is one of my all-time favorite movies, may I add. You're a trained killer. You're trained to, to actually do, combat. So, so we call him the Psychopath Jason Killer. For those of you that don't know where that name comes from, let me tell you where that name comes from. When I actually first met Bestie in February, she jumped into my stream, and the rest is history. But when I got introduced to Michael, was playing Friday the 13th, and imagine playing the game and all you hear is, "I'm coming for you." Evil laugh and everything like that, and I'm like, this guy's a psychopath Jason Killer. So that's where the name came from. It's like, so with that evilness and stuff like that, it brings a whole new creation to your Friday the 13th experience. So that's where the name actually came from.
I fell in love with that evilness.
It's different. It's different. It's it makes you that unique person that you are. It makes you the actual unique person that you are. And like I said, there may be a lot of people saying, well, it doesn't make a difference. A person, if you don't like the person for who they are, then there's something wrong there. I mean, you have to, I don't have a problem with anybody, basically, but what I do have a problem with is people who have a problem with me. I mean, I pull no punches. I'm basically down to earth. I can cut up, I can do whatever, but there's one thing that I will not tolerate, is that it's anybody who's gonna like come into my streams and troll me, or basically so like, I don't like people messing like that, And like I said, I've really come to consider you both as family. I really have. I mean, it's awesome to interact with you. It's awesome to interact with other people.
Well, thank you.
I mean, I don't take lightly of people saying things about you all. So I mean, of course, that's like going totally off topic.
That goes, I'm just gonna say this. That works both ways, Bestie.
Right.
I don't like when people say shit about you either. So I will stand up for those who will put you down. And if people don't like it, they can move the fuck on.
Right, right. Yeah. So like I said, I just, you know, I'm not that, I'm not that type of person, that lets I let stuff get to me, and I don't, and it just
You don't do nothing about it.
It-
And
yeah.
then that's when I step in.
it just bottles up inside of me until basically I've had enough.
You see, you
And
shouldn't do that, though.
I do it that way. But anyway, that's totally off topic. So, getting back to what we were talking about here, we're talking about the differences between the United States and Japan. So the actual typhoon that actually came through, was it last week? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the actual typhoon. I
Scared
mean,
the shit out of me.
right? Yeah,
And
yeah.
now he's about to go through another one. So I'm going to be scared again.
Right, yeah, and that's the whole differences between going over there to Japan. Is you got typhoons, you got tsunamis, and all that other weird, crazy stuff that goes on over there. So, I mean, was you actually?
Godzilla.
Yeah, Godzilla.
Yeah, Godzilla ain't nothing ever good.
Godzilla.
That's only a movie,
Sorry.
bestie.
I
only
know,
movie.
but it was funny because it took place in Japan.
Or is it?
Right, right. So, I mean, did the actual island have any damage because of the typhoon, or was it like far off? I mean,
I don't get it.
there you go, ladies and
What-
gentlemen. That's another Marine. Anyway, did the typhoon actually cause any damage around where you were, or did it like miss you or stay in the ocean or whatever?
It just like knocked out the power at the.
Knocked out the power. See, because I was looking at them things because Bestie messages me and she's like, "What about Michael? I haven't heard from you in a while." I'm like, "Okay."
I was panicking. I was
And
like at a stage.
and she's like, "There's a typhoon over there," and I'm like, "What?" So then she's sitting there worrying, and of course, in turn, she has me worrying about this. So you can ask her throughout the entire day. I messaged her like 100 times. Have you heard from Michael? Have you heard from Michael? Have you heard from Michael? No.
No, not yet.
The
No,
minute
not
you
yet.
do,
No, not
the
yet.
minute you do, you let me know. So we
I
were
was
both
so
kind of worried
worried.
about
I've
you.
had nightmares because of it. Probably have another one.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the whole differences between, being in Okinawa, which is a little island, by the way, for those of you who don't know. It's a little island over there in Japan. So you can imagine the storms that come up there, all the storms and everything that come up the actual, place and stuff like that. But when I think of Okinawa, I think of the Karate Kid Part 2. I think of Mr. Miyagi going over
Yeah,
there,
right?
Sato, and all that stuff. I think about, the Daniel having to fight that one guy who actually got a little uptight and stuff like that. They're in the. That's what I think of when I think of Okinawa. That's why I've actually teased with you, and I asked you when you first was getting ready to go over there, and you actually came over. You actually went over there and got settled in, and you came on for the first time after you got over there, and I'm like, just say hello to Mr. Miyagi for me, because it was like I just found that funny. But yeah, I mean, so like I said, the similarities and the differences between that, like you said, you're actually adjusting well, which is actually good. I mean, you're probably one of those ones that.
And he left.
Well, anyway, like I said, that's basically what the adjustments are. He's adjusting well. How are you adjusting, Bessie? I mean, being the girl, or being the basic quote unquote fiance in the whole how are you adjusting? I know that you're trying to make things work between the different time zones and how things are going. I know that you can't be on late at night. You got to get some sleep, and you got to adjust to that whole 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning whenever he gets off from working or whatever he's doing. You have to hold the whole adjustment. So how are you actually working, to adjust to that? I know it's we talked
I'm
about
not gonna lie. I mean, long distance relationships are hard to have. Um, like he says, he always makes it work. Always gives me that confidence that I'm always thinking like, can we really? I just, it's just, I'm adjusting well to it. It's just that if that communication is gone, or like, if I don't hear
Wow.
from him from like in a couple of days,
God
I
damn
go
it.
to like, is he mad at me? Or is he
Alright,
upset
I'm
with
better.
me? Welcome
Right.
back.
Right.
Wow. All I
So
had to do is just fucking
I'm
pause it
always
down.
thinking, is he mad at me
Fuck.
when I don't hear from him?
Right. Yeah. But you got to understand, though. I mean, he's
I
committed to that, and he may not
I
be able to.
understand it, but
But
I mean, it's
it's hard
just
to deal with.
hard.
It's hard to deal
It's
with.
hard. Yeah.
See, like I said, I can relate to that in some aspects because you always feel like you always feel that negativity, kind of, sort of. It's weird because we're so we're so alike in many different ways, which is kind of weird. That's why we're good besties, people, because we're kind of alike in that aspect. Because I kind of know where she's coming from because I've actually felt that situation where you feel like if you haven't heard from somebody in some certain time that you think, number one, they're mad at you, number two, they got a problem with you, or or something like that. So yeah, I mean, like I said, we are destined to be besties for life, people. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it has to be, and damn anybody who sees it otherwise. Just saying.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. So I
You
mean,
don't like it, get the fuck out.
but like I said,
Simple as that.
that's the that's what we're that's the whole the whole long distance relationship things. You two are making it work. You two have come together. You were brought together because that's just you're
Honestly, Michael found me.
okay. He found you.
Only because of one of her friends.
Gigi got us to
Oh,
know
yeah?
each other.
Okay, well there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
So that actually, I mean,
She
I know who
invited
you're
me
talking
in.
about.
She invited me into one of the matches on Friday the 13th.
The rest is
He
history.
was
No.
flirting since day one. Gotta go save the princess. He was more flirty
so there
back
you
then.
have it,
He
ladies and
hardly
gentlemen.
flirts with me now.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Behind all the evilness
I don't
and
need
the
to flirt.
behind all the
'Cause I
evilness
already
and
got
everything
ya.
else,
Yeah, but I like it.
behind all the evilness and everything else that goes with that psychopath Jason Killer, he's a real mush at heart, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let him fool you. He's a regular
He's
mush.
got a good side, trust me.
He just doesn't show
Yeah.
it too much.
I do.
He doesn't show it, but he shows it to me.
Well, see, and that's
When I
all that
beg-
matters.
When
That's
I
all that
beg
matters.
for it.
That's all that matters. Yeah,
Beg for it.
like
I'll
for
show it without you begging for it.
like
I
like she if she's like, babe, play Dead by Daylight. I'm not playing that effing game.
I just gotta ask like 3 times, and then he'll be like, ah.
Yeah,
He'll
and for some
play.
and I always tell you this. You are spoiled.
Yo.
You are exactly spoiled. You always get your way, always. And it's not just with him. For some reason, it's with me too. I was like, okay, 2 more matches, bestie. No, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2. Fine. Okay, got it. So I mean, she just has her way. I don't know what it is, but she has her way of twisting things to make you go, fine. It's just the way it is. Just the way it is. But yeah, I mean, do we have to? I mean, is there anything else we need to actually adjust here? Like I said, we talked about the whole adjustment and everything like that. And
More people need to subscribe to the Psychopath Jason Killer.
yeah, everybody needs to subscribe to Psychopath Jason Killer. We need to get
Come
him
on,
up.
we got like 700 and something subs, and he only got 116. Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
might be 117 now.
No, it's still 116, babe. That person never subscribed.
Okay, well, there you have it. If you have not
Maybe they
subscribed to
pop up
Psychopath
right
Jason,
now.
ladies and gentlemen, please do so. His
Oh, fuck
channel
you, man.
is always shouted
how
out
it is.
in my streams through the fussbot command, through the bot will always actually share it once it's shared. But you also can find his link to his channel in my Wolfpack fam section on my channel. And like I said, it's a whole adjustment, so, hopefully viewing this podcast has made you see him in a different way from what you've actually seen. Like I said, he's over there defending our country. He's over there, he's doing his thing to not only better
Just
himself.
remember, he's all mine.
Yeah.
There you have it. Okay.
No one can have me but her.
But
So,
as I
fuck
said,
off.
that's how,
Shit.
in a nutshell, basically what it is behind his evilness and sometimes
Behind that mask of his.
behind that mask. There you go. Behind that mask, he is not as deformed and ugly looking as Jason Voorhees, but however, he is a kind-hearted person, a person that Bestie has come to call her fiance, call the love of her life,
You know it.
and
Yes.
someone I consider to be a
Damn
brother,
fucking
someone that I
right.
consider to be, someone that I know is going to have my back if I need it. Both of you, I know you
Yes.
have my back if I need you to have it.
Damn right.
Always.
But I appreciate the both of you. I hope you know that. Much
Hoorah!
love to you. So,
Aw.
but I just, in a nutshell, like I said, that's what we're talking about here. And like I said, I hope it allows everybody to see differently. So if you ain't subscribed to him, please show him some love. And please, please understand that he takes his gaming seriously. So
Yes, he does.
if
He does.
if he's playing WWE wrestling or he's playing any kind of game whatsoever and he's calling him every name in the book, that's because they're getting on his nerves and he's ready to take them out.
Don't distract him.
Don't distract him, right? Yeah, exactly. So,
Don't distract him.
but like I said, that's basically the whole story behind not only how Bestie and him got together, but what he actually is doing. He's actually defending, or he's actually helping to make this country safe for you. So hope you see him in a different light than you have, and hoping you can show him some love.
No, stop it.
Anybody have anything to add, or are we good?
I got nothing else.
Bestie, anything to add?
Nope.
Alrighty, so this has been the Wolfman Lewis, and I appreciate the both of you hanging out with me today, and appreciate everybody watching. Go ahead and like the podcast if you will, and subscribe to the Psychopath Jason Killer. And if you're new, subscribe and become a member of the Wolfpack fam today. Ow, Wolfman Lewis, I am out.